it's set in Canada, and which was not immediately clear to like a lot of kids in the United States when it started airing. But
is that important though?
Yes and no. So so what it is, it's two blended families. Two people meet, and the dad has 3 kids, and the mom has 2, and the 2 oldest are the same age, and they start going to high school, and they have a lot of personality conflicts and all this stuff. It ran for a surprising amount of seasons, but the biggest problem was that like the main ship that emerged out of this was the 2 oldest kids, the stepbrother and the stepsister.
Ship internal from the show or ship external?
So here's the thing. It was an external thing, but like there were stuff happening in the show that people were like, well, this like the chemistry is too strong. And the reason why is because outside of the show, the actors started dating. And so they were dating, and there was one episode, I forget which season, and it was like the girl's aunt and her cousin come to visit, and it's played by the same actress. And then the
cousin?
Yeah, you know how Disney always has that? It's like, oh, you know, like they get mistaken for each other, whatever type of thing. They make out. The cousin and the stepbrother make out because they're not related, because he's the stepbrother and this is the cousin. And so like the show, Life with Derek. I see someone asking. It's Life with Derek.
Life with Derek.
But so the reason why Canada, so no one really picked up on it being in Canada for a long time. It's like he would call her a keener, and the brother wasn't in football, he was in hockey. And that was basically the only
you can kiss your cousins in Canada. Everybody knows that.
You can here, I'm pretty sure.
They tried.
Like North Carolina.
Maybe where you are, Raph.
Absolutely.
But then, so they're like, as the show goes on, like the chemistry is getting more and more intense. And then, of course, it's happening while it's also like, as the seasons go on, they're supposed to be growing closer as a family and all this other kinds of stuff.
Lots of ways to be close.
She starts to relax and stop being such a psycho about her grades and everything. And he starts to be more responsible and things. But then like,
because they're good for each other.
She gets like cheated on. Well, one of the biggest points of contention was also that she had a crush and dated his best friend for a while. And that was always really weird because the energy coming off of it when they always had like arguments about it was never like, why are you dating my best friend? It was always, why are you dating my sister? Like the energy was the direction of the energy. She gets cheated on at one point on a party, and he like almost like beats the shit out of the guy, but it's like it's not siblingly at all. They tried to salvage it by being like, okay, the parents got pregnant. There's going to be a child that shares blood. This'll fix it. They'll stop being fucking weird. It didn't. They had to cancel the show because there's one clip. It comes up.
They were in love.
They were. Do you know? So when I had one of my my mental breaks my senior year when I was sleeping on the floor of my dorm, I went down a really deep spiral about a lot of things. But one of the things that I found out was there are, at the time, this is in like 2014. And when I was doing like all these like rabbit hole stuff about this show from my like childhood, from my psyche, there's like 4 different like videos on YouTube that people made to the fucking song Next Contestant by Nickelback for them.
Stop.
Which is the most what? That is
Stop.
Next Contestant by fucking Nickelback about these 2 siblings. About these 2 step siblings. I'm like,
someone play it.
Have you never heard this song? Don't listen to it, Raph. Don't do it.
I'm about to listen to it.
It's
been too long.
But then the most fucked up thing is that like on like their own private social media, even though the couple isn't together anymore, they still every once in a while, for no good fucking reason, bring up that they were like, we're so glad this was Endgame, because they got the show canceled over this. The show got shut down because the chemistry was too real, and they had real like young children, like preteens, being like, yeah, you can date your step sibling. That's not weird. I was like, oh.
Was her name Daisy?
In Canada.
Casey? And his name was?
Derek.
Okay, I found it.
Because it's his life.
Enjoy hell, Raph.
I found a YouTube video called Daisy Next Contestant, and
That's the ship
ready.
name. That's the ship name. How old is
How
it?
about
How
the
old is it, Raph? When was it?
diving?
When was it put out? What year did it come out, Raph? Tell me. Raph.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
It's in 4:3, so
I'm playing the song.
Have you never heard the song? Oh, rest in peace.
R.I.P. the VOD.
It's not going to save. This is just going to be like 3 minutes of silence while I stare at the camera on the pod.
So growing up, my father's some of my father's favorite bands that he used to play in the house to a volume that shook the frame of this little house was Nickel. Yeah, Will, do you feel that pain? Are you okay? Anyway, my dad used to listen to Avril Lavigne, Nickelback, and Evanescence at a volume with which our home shook.
Is part of the chorus, is that your hand?
Is that your hand on my girlfriend? Is that your hand? I wish you'd do it again. I'll watch you leave here. Listen, I'm
adding it to Max's playlist.
I've heard some of the most obscure, dumbass Nickelback songs in my life because my dad would just play them. I'll be over there playing The Sims. Nickelback's playing. My dad woke me up one time because he was watching the Evanescence concert DVD on the TV, and I was like, Father, please.
You're good, Will?
I'm here for it.
It's weird.
I've yet to hear something I dislike.
I heard
what era of Nickelback? Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
This was
where are we?
2005.
Yeah.
This was Photograph. This was the same album as Photograph.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
I think it's the same album as the Biting on the Thumb one, which is the single worst song I've ever been subjected to as a
it's the one with the
preteen.
car on it. Okay,
Maybe. How You Remind Me kind of
God.
slaps though.
Oh, I do
From
like that
2001.
one.
Yeah, it's kind of a banger, honestly.
Stop.
Listen, there are some Nickelback songs that I greatly enjoy.
How You Remind Me is kind of a banger, Raph.
But listen,
I'm not arguing with you.
Unfortunately for me, there is a song that got popular by Nickelback that was written by the lead singer of Marianas Trench while the band was on one of their breaks, and I was like, fuck.
It's weird. This is weird. Animals is on this album with this song, All the Right Reasons.
I'm not talking about the Biting on the Thumb one. That's a different one.
I don't love this. No, Dorian was asking if Animals was on this album.
Oh, yes.
The answer is yes. All right. Maybe we can play this game now.
I'm just going to have this on loop.
Can we after all of this?
Are you happy now, Raph? Have you been satisfied? Are you glad that you
listen? I have a whole playlist. I have a whole playlist of Daisy, Life with Derek, a film by Saints Productions. Came out 15 years ago.
Listen,
I'm ready for it.
Listen, you and I can talk about this offline. I watched the show a lot because I was the only babysitter in my neighborhood, and this was very popular for the kids in my neighborhood.
Stressing.
Yeah.
Concerning.
Unfortunate. Even.
It was weird because I'd go to one house and we would read her little fairy books while we wait for her parents to come home, because there'd be an hour where one parent left for work and the other parent had to come home. And then I'd go to the other house and we're watching fucking Life with Derek and White Chicks over and over and over again. That was all this one girl would watch, was Life with Derek and White Chicks.
There's probably a Nickelback song on the White Chicks album. I haven't listened in a long time, but it's probably there.
What was it, Raph?
You good?
What'd you see?
Nothing.
What's up?
Nothing.
Dorian wants to know if you have your patron yet.
Yeah, I know. I haven't asked. Get out of here.
All right. Well, on that note, I guess we could play Class Reunion. That's the game. Hi, hey, hello. If you've never caught us before, if you're still here after all of this and you don't
Thank
know who we
God.
are, yeah,
Why?
thank you. We're live from the apocalypse. We're a not-for-profit actual play TTRPG studio. No, that's not the thing. We're a not-for-profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content like streams and podcasts, like this game right here. It's not a podcast, but it is a stream. And we do all of that to raise money for nonprofits and aid organizations and other important things like that. So that's most of the stuff. We're currently raising money for Rainbow Railroad. I think I just realized actually that I never changed the stuff back from Extra Life, but that's fine. This will just take 2 seconds. I'll just keep talking while I do it, and it's fine. So that's what we do. We raise money for these causes. We just ask that if you like what you see here, instead of doing the normal Twitch things like subscribing or giving us bits or any of that stuff, that you instead take the $5 or the $6, whatever you can spare. There is no expectation, and you give it directly to Rainbow Railroad instead of giving it to us, because we just play games on the internet, and they will do very good and important things with it. So yeah, if you want to do that, please do. And by the time I am done speaking this sentence, you can hit !donate in the chat, and the bot will post the link if you want. But also, the link is replacing the subscribe button. The subscribe button is hidden. Seek it at your own peril. And instead of doing that, maybe just give money to Rainbow Railroad instead by hitting that donate button. If you do that, the McElroy brothers will interrupt whatever's going on and scream at me, and it'll be very distracting. If you do seek the perilous subscribe button and you do choose to presseth it, just be aware that beloved Dimension 20 Dungeon Master Brennan Lee Mulligan will murder 1 dog for every month that you've been subscribed to this channel. He is a monster, and he has not yet been dealt with. It's for a future game. What is it's like, you remember actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah.
Like dog murderer Brennan Lee Mulligan. Someone should write that, not me. Yeah, please get in touch with that guy.
I'll get in touch with that guy. Arguably, the Christian Bale is at your party one is a better song.
Okay.
It's the better song.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
I have so many questions.
It's no dog murderer Brennan Lee Mulligan, but maybe it's better than actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. So that's what happens if you subscribe. Just be aware, choose it at your own peril, and ask yourself if you'll be able to sleep at night. Maybe just donate to Rainbow Railroad instead. But it's pretty much all the stuff in the things here. This is Class Reunion, a game that we have played for 30 episodes over a year about a group of high school students from Ohio who have been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years. They have been separated from each other. They have grown into heroes? ? And they have class levels, at least. And now they have been reunited for the purpose of finding their destiny. But that's the premise of the game we've been playing for a long time, and we can go ahead and get started with our introductions, which means, JD, you go first. Thank you.
Fuck, this always throws me off. Hi, I'm JD. You can find me on social media at JD Not Jason Dean. In this game, I play Hunter, our agender ranger, and everything's fine. Everything's great with them. They're definitely not in a containment cube. They're not letting creatures eat their memories. We're fine. We're thriving. Stop giving me that look, Will.
I'm not looking at anything, honestly. I was trying to think if there was like... Do you honestly want to know what I was thinking about?
Yes.
Of course we do.
I was trying to think if there was a way that I could suggest you change your screen name to, like, you know, the Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne meme?
Yeah!
I was trying to think if there was a way you could be like, at Jesus Christ, it's not Jason Dean or something. But I don't think people would get it. Actually.
I don't think I would be allowed to have that many characters. I think that's the problem.
I think on Blue Sky, if it's a URL, it can be as long as you want. All you have to do is procure the rights to Jesus Christ. It's not jasondorn.com.
Incredible.
Raf.
Hello, I'm Raf. I'm playing Max Miller tonight. I am a little EP, just a little EP. 2 levels of EP to be totally honest with you still. But it's early days, mate. You know what I mean? Like, it's early, so we'll see where it goes.
Oh, I'm a little EP. I'm like 2 levels of EP. Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia. I'm the local Delaware cryptid. You can find me at HexWatt on all social media platforms. Today I am playing Kelly Violet, who is our rogue cleric hybrid. Last episode, she was having a totally fine, totally normal, totally chill date with Edmund. So she's about to walk into all of this. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure everything's fine, right?
Hi, my name is Will. I'm a little EP. I'm one of the organizers and the storytellers here Live from the Apocalypse. I play everyone else in this game except for Wayne Hovacek, who is played by Corey, but Corey is not here tonight.
Yeah, do his intro.
Yeah.
What is...
Ha. Come on.
Hi, hey, hello. My name is Corey. I play Wayne Hovacek, the greatest Gritsky player in all of Noon. Former greatest Gritsky player, retired, went out on top. Currently, the greatest spy Noon has never seen. And maybe I'll do some other stuff. Maybe I'll come out of retirement. Maybe I'll tweet. Who knows? You could find me on that website. I tweet. I don't tweet, but you can find me there. Here's my cat. Look at my cat. Okay. All right. I did it.
That was uncanny. It was like he was here.
Like he's in the room with us.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. All right. We're good.
Wow.
Everything's so good. Everything's so good. Thank you for the pet alert.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. It's Jason Bourne.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm so tired. We listened to Nickelback and now I just want to go to sleep.
I didn't tell you to do that. I tried to stop you.
I know. All right. So, when we left off, Max Miller had stepped outside of Hunter's room and left Hunter inside a magical barrier, alone with both the fungal symbiote that has bonded with Hunter's body, and currently he's attempting to occasionally wrest control. Also, maybe more notably, with the extra-dimensional spider that lives inside of Hunter's brain. And a deal was struck, an understanding was reached, an exchange was made. But that's not where we're going to start. We're going to start in Calderon. Calderon proper, not Calderon Keep. We're going to start in the city itself, which is still in some state of disrepair, still kind of being pieced back together after the unfortunate situation where monsters took over people's bodies and rampaged throughout the streets, murdering indiscriminately, and then you stopped that from happening. Mostly, good job. But slowly but surely, life here in Calderon is returning to normal, or what passes for normal. And I think, as we begin our tale, we are going to kind of zoom in on a low shot across the entire scape of the city. It is early morning still here in the city. People are still sort of rising, and late risers are still in the process of leaving their homes and starting their days. It's becoming slowly more busy out here in Calderon, and particularly in Calderon Square, where we kind of hang a sharp turn at the Grand Library, the arches of the Grand Library, its towering structure, before we come down in a sort of a spiraling low shot and find two people walking side by side through the streets. One of them we know very well. It's Kelly Violet. And the other one, we don't know quite as well, but we have met him before. His name is Edmund. Veers. Is his last name? Veers. Yep, that's his last name. I know what his last name is. And he is a tall, good-looking man in a way where he doesn't really seem to be aware of it. There have not been great standards placed upon the personal beauty of living people in the necropolis of Barrow, where he lived for basically his entire life until you liberated it, and him by proxy. So, interestingly, I think as you walk through the streets of Calderon, there's a little bit of a tension. There's a little bit of silence before you kind of round a corner and he speaks. He clears his throat. I know we haven't really spoken about it. My new position.
Yeah, haven't really had a lot of time now.
We have time now.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have questions.
I do. It might take me a second to kind of put them all in order. I mean, I guess the biggest one is how did that happen? I guess I thought I don't know.
I guess I sort of took on a role as representing the living after you left, after everything, after we were set free, and I mean that put a lot of eyes on me, a lot of attention, and things were going well. Marius was amenable to pretty much everything that we were asking for. Just like he said he would be. And well, and then they reached out from here, because there was a seat open on the council of Calderon vacancies, and they said that it would be a lovely gesture of the new relationship between the kingdom and Barrow if one of our own would sit on the council, take a seat. Marius was, I suppose, the obvious choice, and he asked me to accompany him as his advisor. And I mean, I knew this is where you were. I wasn't going to say no.
I'm happy. I really am happy to see you. And that everything is going well. Genuinely, I want to trust him at face value for what he's saying and what he's doing, but it's going to be hard for me to do that. But just because that's hard for me doesn't mean I'm upset or disappointed that you're working with him, especially not if it's working well. He makes me nervous.
I don't trust him, Kelly. I mean, he's a vampire.
I mean, yeah, that's a big mark on that field, but just him.
Yeah.
Everything else besides just the vampireness of him, just him.
Yeah. No, I understand. I'm being careful. I promise you that.
I believe you. But, I'd worry about you even if you were here with someone else, or if he was here and you were there. I'm not gonna not worry about. I thought you were dead for 2 years, and I feel horrible that I never made sure.
I mean, you came back for me. You came back for all of us. You saved me.
And Kelly's gonna reach out and hold his hand and pull him closer and kind of like lean on him as they're walking. She's like, when I got out, I could have just buried myself in nothing. But even when I thought you were dead, I knew that if you were in my shoes, if you had gotten out, you wouldn't just let it go or walk away from it. So I wasn't going to do that. I couldn't do that.
I don't think you could have. Even if you tried, I don't think you could have. He'll stop and turn to face you and look down into your eyes, and I'll say, spent my entire life surrounded by death and decay and folks trying to understand what it means to live, to be alive. Born into a place like that, and you're told it doesn't mean anything. That it makes you food or labor or chattel. And I think I would have bought it. I think I would have ended up just like everyone else. Honestly, I was close. I tried for a long time, but I was close to giving up, and then there you were. And you were more alive than anyone I'd ever met. And even with the doors open, walking around in the sunlight, you still are. And when I say that you saved me, Kelly Violet, I don't mean that you saved my life. You did, but I mean that I didn't know what it was to live until I met you.
She's just like holding it in. She's not gonna cry. She's not gonna do it. But she looks like she might do it. I think when he gets to the end of the speech, she kind of just like throws her arm around him and she holds him and she kisses him and she's like, "We're both alive. We're both here. We both have so much we still need to do, but you are what I am gonna keep coming back here for."
Be here.
Beaming, big old grin about that. She's like, "Maybe we should see if we can finagle picking out which house you guys are gonna turn into your embassy. Maybe we can find one that's not horrifically creepy before Marius starts looking."
Yeah, good luck. I'm sure it's going to be extremely gaudy.
It's just like, doesn't even look like comfortable. He looks so like oily and yet so stiff. I don't know how to describe it. It's just unsettling.
It's a certain quality, to be sure.
Do you want to see Robin again?
Of course I do. Can we?
Yes. Oh, absolutely we can. Yes. There's a couple who I know, they own an inn and they watch her they raise her pretty much. But sometimes she stays with my aunt in Kalefell so that she can play with other children, because there's not, a lot of kids in a roadside inn. So I just have to figure out which place she's at right now, but we can see her.
Kelly.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Roll me an insight check.
Okay. Which one should I do, guys? The white and gold or the green and white dice? It's a 14.
Okay, cool. The 14, you say that, and you don't get a reply, but when you look over at Edmund, he's kind of glassy-eyed just for a second. He's a little, like, unfocused, maybe. It's hard to say. But he snaps out of it almost immediately. Says, I'd really like to see her. Something wrong?
I don't know. Sometimes I just get these feelings. I still don't know where they come from. Sorry.
You can tell me anything.
You didn't look well for a second there. But now you seem like you feel fine, and you don't remember that, do you?
I mean, I've never been in a place like this before. I've never felt this much sun, seen this many people, living people just walking around. It's a little overwhelming.
It is. It's a lot to get used to, for sure, but it's also it has its moments where it's quiet. But you're sure you feel fine?
Feel better than fine. I'm with you. He'll step in a little bit closer and put his hands on either side of your face and kind of lean in so your foreheads are touching and say quietly, you're the only one whose spell I'm under.
She's gonna laugh at that, and yeah, that's concerning. She's like filing that away. She's like, things. She's like, file cabinet, things to harass Wilt about later. Close the door, open a different file cabinet, shuffle around, be like, hey, Marius, can you describe a little bit more about what you saw when you ripped my soul out? I'm trying to figure out who my ancient dad is. File that away. But in the moment, she just kind of like laughs it off, and she like reaches out and like pokes him in the side, like to like tickle him, just be like, stop. You're embarrassing.
No, I'm sorry. That was not my best.
Good try, though. Good, solid effort.
We didn't do much flirting in Barrow, you might remember.
No, there wasn't a lot of that going on. All right. Well, you know what? You should come meet my friend Carmen. He's probably worse at this flirting thing than you are.
We have the whole day. I want to see your world.
I'll make sure you do. We can start by showing you where Wayne and Max threw a riot.
I've been to one of those.
We practiced here first.
That explains it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Lead on.
And she will, again, kind of like take his hand and then like loop her arm through it. So they're kind of like, and drag him along.
Okay. All right. And you lead Edmund off by the arm into Calderon. And as you do that, it's getting to be about midday, afternoon, getting on towards afternoon. Streets are even more crowded. The two of you kind of disappear into the hustle and the bustle of the city. And back in Calderon Keep, we see Wayne walk into the library, but, you know.
As we wave at him across the...
Yep.
Max whispers, nerd.
Nobody replies. That's nobody's call sign.
Shit.
You didn't assign that one to anybody. But hey, speaking of Max, since we're here, when you leave Hunter alone in their room, where are you going?
Right there.
Just right outside the door?
Yeah, not leaving.
Okay. Just sitting down?
Probably standing for a while. If it's long enough, I think he'll probably end up sitting down.
Hunter's not going anywhere. So
that's fair.
Whether
just
it's going to be long
for
enough is really up to you.
The return call, I suppose. But yeah, I guess after probably about like half an hour, he'll probably sit down and start like takes out Gallows or something and just starts like picking at it, looking around for the ravens, you know.
You pull out your axe, your gallows blade axe, and you are tending to it, making sure the edge is sharp. It always is, even though it's notched and worn. It's always just as sharp as the day that you got it for the first time. As you're doing that, someone sits down next to you.
Papa?
Which papa? Who are you hoping for?
A papa.
Just a papa.
Any papa.
Any papa will do.
Think to it, papa.
That seemed like it hurt. Simon says.
Did I fall asleep?
I guess you must have.
I swing Gallows at him. Just to see.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you swing gallows at him. I think that there's a brief second where the blade hits him in the chest and like sinks in almost up to the haft and like around the wound. Blood starts to pour out, and he turns his head. He looks down and he turns his head and he looks at you, and like blood also starts to pour out of his mouth. And he says, "Is this what you wanted?"
I just wanted to make sure. Are you alive?
It's your dream.
It's better than pinching myself, I suppose.
Do you want to take that out?
It's like she rips it out
Uh,
and goes to like clean it. I'm assuming there's nothing on it.
Yeah, there's no blood on it. And when you pull it out, Simon looks fine again. Was that good for you?
It wasn't bad. I needed someone to, punch around.
Take your frustrations out on. Yeah. I remember.
You should just stop by for real. And we'll see if this is a reenactment or not.
Well, I'm not real, though.
Right. No, but you are connected, aren't you?
I don't know. You spoke to me. You spoke to me, the real me, I guess. That wasn't me. I led you there, but I think maybe you always knew how to find him, how to find me. So I guess I don't really know why you're keeping me around.
I'm not. You just keep showing up.
But it's your dreams. So why are you dreaming about me, Max Miller?
I'm not. If I am, I'm not trying to. Or maybe I'm just pissed at you. And maybe I just want to talk and just kind of like wipes Callows a little bit. That was a little bit much, but yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
I think you
some relationship
or other
advice?
you know. I think at this point Max just stands up and walks away. It's a dream, right? Right. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Back into Hunter's room.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, cool. You open the door and you walk into Hunter's room, and it looks like it did when you left. You can kind of see the thin disturbance in the air where the barrier surrounds Hunter. You can see Hunter sitting inside, kind of cross-legged, eyes closed, like in a sort of a relaxed sitting position.
I think he closes the door behind him, and just sits against the wall and says, "Sorry, I know I said I would wait outside, but I guess this is a dream, so it doesn't count, right?" So
You don't receive a reply from Dream Hunter.
I think he just sits there for a while, just in silence, half trying to see if Simon will appear, and half just trying to live within this space of calmness, I guess, peace. There's no like anger, there's no problems. It's just Hunter meditating and then him just watching.
You sure you don't want to talk about it? I don't think that I would be here if you didn't want to talk about it.
Talk about, I think, whispering. Talk about what? You? I feel like that's all we do.
No. Not me.
Other Simon, whatever you want to call him. Non-dream Simon.
No, I think for once you're not thinking about me.
Yeah. It's a nice little rust.
It didn't really go well, did it? I guess you've never really been good at the whole like comfort and support thing.
No, I haven't. And you goading me this way doesn't really help, you know? If you're here to like teach me a lesson Scrooge style, then like let's get on with it.
I'm not a ghost, Max. You haven't killed me yet.
I guess not. But no, I'm not. I'm not good at that. I'm not good with words. I say what's on my mind, and sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's hurtful.
So why do you do it?
I don't know. I guess it's easier. I I guess I'd rather say the truth or be honest, whatever that may be in the moment. I don't like to hold things back. I'm sure you know this.
Hmm.
It's kind of my thing. Good or bad. Although I guess it's been mostly bad.
This hasn't, though. Simon turns and looks at Hunter, sitting cross-legged on the bed. I mean, compared to you, when they popped out in the middle of the woods, got adopted by some loving family. Stayed there for 10 years. I guess safe and sound. I guess when you think about it, all the bad things have happened to them fairly recently.
That's not true. Bad things have been happening since before I came to Anoon.
Oh, to you, yeah.
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 You mean to Hunter?
Yeah, I mean, imagine you're just like living your best life in the middle of the forest, not aware of any of the turmoil, the strife that's happening anywhere else in the world. And then you, one day, happen to run into somebody that you used to know. And then all of a sudden, everything changes. Bad things start happening. You get hurt.
I didn't ask them to leave. I didn't ask them to walk out of the forest.
No. Is that what you told yourself back then? I didn't ask them to leave home. I didn't ask them to come to school today. They didn't have to be here.
If you want to know, I can't ask them to stay. We're going back to where they were happy before. And when we get there, it will be up to them. I'm not going to bully people into making choices anymore.
Hmm. Well, sounds like you've got it all figured out.
So are you going to leave now?
I guess that depends. Are you going to wake up?
Not yet.
Hmm.
Sorry.
You. It's okay.
You're fine.
Mhm, mhm. All right. I guess we'll be here for a little while longer.
Can I ask you
I
to
wouldn't.
just shut up? If you're not going to leave, just be quiet.
I was just going to say one thing.
All right, get it out. Give me the dagger.
I wouldn't wait too long. Otherwise, you might be too late to stop them.
I think at that point, Max just gets up and starts smashing on the glass.
I think you stand up. Yeah, I think you stand up, and you stand up outside of Hunter's room on the ground where you were sitting when you fell asleep with Gallows in your hand.
In that case, immediately just swivel and just start knocking on the door. Are you okay?
Hunter, are you saying anything?
I think there's a few beats of silence, but given the panic in Max's voice, Hunter says, I'm fine. You can come back in if you want.
All right, Max, are you going in?
I think he just, like, you see the doorknob turn and then shift back and just says, it's not up to me.
I mean, it's fine, Max. If you don't, if you don't want to.
Do you want me in there?
Do you want to be in here?
Stop asking me what I want. You're trapped in a bubble. Just tell me.
Okay, yes. Yes.
I think Max opens the door and says, sorry, that was mean, and also I yelled. I don't want to force this on. Close the door.
Quick question before you do that, Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to conceal how you are feeling?
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a deception check.
Cool.
And Max Miller, I need you to make an insight check.
Oh, that's okay. My insight is nasty. Roll my Hunter dice.
Oh, God.
15 or...
Nope, there's no one.
I rolled a 15, actually.
Nice. You start to open the door. You start to open the door and maybe close it. You open the door, you apologize, you maybe start to close it again, and then you get a glimpse of Hunter's face. And JD, I'm going to let you describe what Hunter is failing to hide in this moment.
I think there are several things that they are failing to hide. First of all, probably unexpectedly, they look very guilty. And I think there's also not quite a sense of blankness, but a sense of loss that you can see in their eyes.
I think at seeing that, Max goes to close the door and then just walks up, just like opens it and walks straight in, and hand on Bubble. What's wrong? What's going on?
I mean, I wasn't very kind to you earlier. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize for that. Oh.
Will, you're muted.
Hunter's lying.
No. Cool.
You rolled a 15.
Cool,
Hunter
cool.
got a 5. Hunter's lying.
Hunter lying about their feelings? What?
I think then Max just stares, kind of daggering, at Hunter, just kind of looking down. And says, "You don't have to apologize. There's no reason to. I'd rather you speak honestly."
I mean, I feel bad about what I said.
I don't know why you think I need or deserve any sort of kindness or apology or niceness from you. But you don't have to lie. Actually, would really rather you didn't. I'd rather you just yell at me. If that's what you want.
No, I don't want to yell at you. What makes you think I'm lying?
Because I know you.
It's not important.
I think.
Hunter.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Hunter.
Yes.
It's been a rough couple of days. And when your Dreamweaver did whatever it did, you felt all of this like background radiation of anger that you didn't even know was slowly building. You didn't even know was in you. Until it was gone. And now you're hearing Max say these things, and yeah, you don't feel angry. You don't feel like yelling at him. You don't really feel anything. You just feel like something's missing.
Point of clarification. Does Hunter remember everything with the Dreamweaver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You just don't remember what you gave up. You just know that it was important.
Hunter is quiet for a moment as they have a chance to fully register all of that. And then they look up at Max. They've kind of been averting their eyes. And they just kind of slowly shake their head and say, Max, I think I might have made a mistake.
I know we disagree on this, but hurting Mance, never a mistake.
That's no, not that. I mean that was wrong, but no, that's not what I was talking about.
Then what? Do you want to go back home? I don't mean Ohio.
You mean the Heartwood?
Right. The hardwood.
I mean,
Different place.
Why? I mean, why are you asking that?
It's where you were happy. And it's where we can maybe fix this.
I mean, if going back would fix this, then yes, I suppose.
We'll fix this mistake. It's okay.
I don't think we can.
We can try. Going back is the first step.
No, it's not. Not for the mistake that I made.
I think Max just like sits down then and just says, if you want to tell me, I'm here. But you don't have to. You don't owe me anything. Actually, I'm probably in some anger debt from you. So, I'll take it as it comes. But you're kind of trapped, and I don't want you to feel like you have to or you're forced to share anything you don't want to. At least not with me. Kelly's somewhere. Where is Kelly? And Wayne's being a nerd, but
Leave me alone with my fiance.
And yeah, there are people, but if you don't mind, I can just sit here and listen as well.
I mean, Max, you keep listing off everyone else, but you're the only person I would want to be here. You know those spiders?
In our brains.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I forgot about mine. Doesn't have much to eat.
Yeah, you haven't been having any dreams.
Steph
Hate that.
to doubt.
Hate that.
Yes, Steph.
I heard Steph
Yeah.
to doubt.
Yeah, so the brain spider. It said it could help me.
Help you how? Because we were told that going to the hardwood would be what would help you.
The best part of this is that I can't hear any of it, so I'm just going off of people's facial expressions.
Incredible. I mean, that, I guess, might help, but you saw what happened earlier with Mance and then with you. And last night, I don't know what I might have done if I'd lost control like I did today. And the spider said it could help me. That I could help me to be stronger. But it needed to be stronger.
Technically, it said it's been helping you.
He's being a good boy.
Allow me to retcon what I just said. The spider told me that they have been a good boy. And have been trying to help me. Yes?
How has it been helping you? Mine, I don't even feel mine, to be honest.
I don't think that's normal.
I don't know if having spiders in our brains is normal. So,
I mean, valid.
How is it helping you? How is it saying it's helping you?
That it was trying to help me not be losing control the way I had been, to not be at the mercy of that anger. But it said it wasn't strong enough and it needed to be stronger.
And what did you say?
I asked what it needed.
What does it need?
Memories. Happy memories.
And you fed it.
And Hunter looks at Max and meets his gaze for the first time and says, I did, and I don't know what I gave up.
How much does it want? Is it just going to keep asking for more?
I don't know.
You can't give it everything that's ever made you happy.
I know. I know I can't.
Then don't. This anger, this thing that's inside you, we have a plan. And honestly, at the moment, it's only done what we've all been wanting to do. Get at Mance and probably yell at me, and that's fine. Those things are manageable.
That's not fine, Max. And I don't know what would have happened if this barrier hadn't been there. You saw. I mean, if there hadn't been something there between us, I could have hurt you.
But it's there now. So I can't tell you what to do. That's not my place. But I can tell you that I've had uncontrollable rage before. And it took a while, but I'm in control somewhat.
But the thing is, Max, I mean, that anger comes from you. Mine's coming from somewhere else.
Hunter, make an Arcana check.
Buddy.
We got six advantage in the pool. If you want.
We got advantage.
You know what? Let's use an advantage.
Do the Rathacon glass touch, and I will donate again.
Okay.
Do it.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay.
Nice.
That's great. So, your conversation with the Dreamweaver was complicated because it doesn't really have words in the same way. It doesn't really have language in the same way. You were kind of doing the best to communicate with its perceptions of things and its perception of communication itself. And so it was kind of hard to understand, but it's kind of all starting to make sense to you now that you are not in whatever kind of dreamscape you were in. And you know that basically what it was saying was that it has been stopping you from losing control. It has been stopping you from being taken over. But it is not strong enough on its own to hold back these flashes of anger, because anger is like too powerful. Hasn't been able to do that. So the memory that you gave up was to make it strong enough to do that, but you also understand that, like, it can't do that forever. Like, if you stop giving it the memories, it might not be able to stop eventually. Might not be able to stop anything. Might not be able to stop you from losing yourself.
Hunter is quiet once again as they're considering what Max has said in light of that conversation, such as it was with the Dreamweaver. And they swallow hard and say, I mean, it's in between a rock and a hard place, Max. If I don't keep feeding it, at some point, I'm going to lose myself completely. And if I keep feeding it, I'm going to lose myself.
Then I only see two options. We have to get you to the hardwood as quickly as possible. And the other thing,
My guy.
you all have to stop.
Oui.
My dude.
Anyway, we have to get you back home as quickly as possible. And if it wants happy memories, then we'll just have to keep making them so that you can keep feeding it. At least it will balance out somewhat, right?
Max, I mean, it's... First of all, that...
It's dumb, I know.
No, that wasn't... Max, that wasn't what I was saying. I was first trying to say that I don't know if the woods are my home anymore in the way that they once were. And I was trying to say that thank you. Thank you. Even with everything else going on, even with all of the terrible things that have happened, some of my favorite memories have been with you. But I don't want to give those up.
I wouldn't be upset if you did. I'd rather you not lose yourself.
If I'm feeding the Dreamweaver to not lose myself, but I'm losing you in the process. That's not worth it.
I think Max just puts his forehead against the bubble and
Hunter presses their forehead up to his with the glass between them.
I heard that one. I heard that one. That one was too powerful.
noise gate breaking. I think Max is quiet for a while. And then just says, "You thanked me earlier, and the truth is,
Sorry, I'm killing something.
I thought we were slow clapping.
No,
I thought we were starting a slow clap.
no, sorry, I killed something.
says, the truth is, I probably deserved all those things you said. And it's okay. You don't have to apologize. I wasn't nice. And I never really apologized to you, to anyone. And I am so sorry for ever hurting you. I could never do something like that to you. I don't ever want to do that to you.
I know, Max, you're a different person than you were back then. The person you were back then wouldn't be sitting here with me right now, trying to support me as something tries to take over my body.
The person back then was selfish. I'm still pretty selfish. So
I don't think you're as selfish as you think you are.
I think Max just laughs and says, I'm not good with comforting people. So I'm not really here for that.
That also isn't true, Max. You stayed with me.
I'm saying that I'm selfish because I want to be here with you. That trumps kind of everything.
And I think as confusing and cyclical as your conversation is becoming, Hunter.
Classic, though. Gotta keep it on brand.
Gotta keep it on brand. As you have your forehead against the barrier and Max is on the other side, his forehead also on the barrier. And you're hearing him apologize. You're hearing him talk about who he was, who he is now. There's this emptiness inside you, Hunter, something missing, and you don't know what it is or what it was, or if you'll ever feel completely whole again. But aside from that, there is a very deep and old and painful ball of anger and fear and resentment that you've been carrying with you for over 10 years. And while there is something missing, you feel that slip away. You feel yourself let it go. As you forgive Max Miller. You don't feel quite as empty. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go away.
Fuck me, I guess. It's like I only took care of you for God knows how many years, took you to the vet and everything else so that I was the bad guy, so that Carly wasn't the bad guy, but...
Oh.
Put on your favorite movies for you to watch.
All
and TV shows. And TV shows.
Her favorite TV shows. JD saw that video. Very intent, very focused watching.
No, yeah, she had very specific taste.
She did.
So did you hear her little cameo at the end of one of the last 2 episodes of Academy?
Yeah, she fucking dug her claws into my side right in the middle of the fucking moment.
I forgot that happened until I heard that stinger.
She fucking just went, I would like to leave.
Yep.
Little bitch.
It was very alarming when I was listening to it through when I was first editing it, because you literally did go, and then Lyra's gonna look at Kaz and say, and then it's just quiet for a second. You're like, excuse me.
She did. She just decided she was done waiting for me to be done, and she just walked over and was like, fuck you.
I would like out. I'm gonna be sharp about it.
Typical cat bullshittery.
Typical cat bullshit. But happy birthday, Pepita.
Tomorrow. Yay.
Happy early birthday.
Happy early birthday. You have to post a picture of the birthday girl in Discord.
Yeah, I will. I got her a new toy that hopefully she'll like, because the last time I bought her a big like feather toy, it was too big and it scared her a lot.
She's very small. She's very small.
I bought her a thinner one, and we're gonna hope. And then I also bought her some really nice like salmon oil to put on her food. So hopefully she likes that.
That's so sweet.
It's better than
He's
I've
my
eaten in a very
child.
long time. Incredible.
Love to see it.
We do love to see it. Cool. I think let's get back into it, shall we? Let's get back into our game.
Anyways, Hunter.
No, I'm done with you two. I'm done with you two.
Our circular conversation got to you.
Yeah, you
the
had
fact
your
that we
moment.
make no way.
Never. We take half a step forward.
Just apologizing for forever. Sometimes it does take me a little while to catch on to it. And then I'm like, it just feels like they've apologized a lot already.
Yeah, no, that's just me as a human being.
But
It's
I
fine.
never want to interrupt. I never want to cut you off.
Listen, this is how we date. It's okay.
This is called dating.
This is
It's
why
called dating.
You gather in the same general vicinity and then you just apologize for stuff.
You just apologize.
This is
Like-
why
And you're just
Wayne is like, you should just move on to the moving in stage.
Yeah.
Wayne was very
Yeah.
insistent. He's like, put us
The
all out of
U-Haul
our
is
misery.
here.
I was gonna say it's like the equivalent of you hauling, but it's like I'm sorrying. I don't know. Amazing. All right. Let's see here.
I'm gonna take a trip away from the situationship.
We are going to take a trip away from the situationship, and I think we're going to take a trip and end up actually not that far away from the situationship. I think we're gonna cut away, but I think by the light coming in through the window of a darkened room, one where perhaps we have faded to black.
Yeah, probably.
we can tell that it is nighttime. Hours have passed, and I think in this particular part of Calderon Keep, this particular room, there is a bed. It's somewhat in disarray. There are tastefully tangled sheets, and amidst them, two sleeping forms. What has taken place here is not for us to know. It's none of our business. But Kelly Violet, as you lie there, you hear Edmund's soft, like barely audible snoring. And there's just too many questions for you to stop your mind from racing with the possibilities and the fears. But as you are lying there, you hear soft music starting to play. Not from this room that you're in, but elsewhere in this wing of the keep that the delegation from Barrow has been placed in. Something about it sounds familiar, but it's hard to put your finger on.
I think she'll lay there and listen to it for a little bit to see if it stops. But if it seems like it's going on, she will probably get up. I think it's fair to say she could do that without disturbing anyone. I'm pretty sure my stealth is high enough and my sleight of hand if you want me to roll for it. But I think she's able to get up without waking Edmund up. And
I think you're right.
yeah,
He's pretty sound asleep.
this is also like making no noise in the middle of the night is also used to be my job.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's all tuckered out. So.
Yeah, he's had a big day.
Is that a big day?
Should probably just scoop some clothing off the ground enough to be presentable. Probably his shirt. She's willing to make a power play here. And then she's gonna go see if she can find the music.
Okay. You step out of Edmund's room, and pad down the hallway. These chambers look a lot like the rest of Calderon Keep. They are old, but they are well cared for. And I think in this particular section, there's wood paneling over what is probably bare stone underneath, the stone that makes up the keep. And it gives it kind of a cozy vibe, but definitely makes it feel smaller than it actually is. Not oppressive. Not inherently. You see a light at the end of this hall, a soft glow. And as you draw closer to it, the music gets louder as well. And you peek around the corner. You see there is a fireplace with a softly burning fire inside of it, well tended. And seated at a table in a comfy chair, the table is surrounded by these pretty comfortable chairs, pretty comfortable armchairs. You'd recognize the profile of Marius Ingavir. There is a box, small little decorative box on the table in front of him. The lid is open, and there is a figure sort of spinning in circles while the song plays inside of the box. If you don't approach or make your presence known, I think it's only a few beats before Marius says, "Wouldn't you care to join me, Miss Violet?"
For a few minutes, maybe. I can't sleep.
What a coincidence. Neither can I.
And I think Kelly will go and she will sit across the table. A polite distance away from him. Does he just have the music box? Does it look like he's been drinking, writing, doing anything else, or has he just been like sitting here in the dark, in the semi-dark of this fireplace, listening?
Kind of just looks like he's been sitting here listening. He is still wearing most of the finery that he was earlier today, but definitely more casual now. Like he's taken off the jacket that he was wearing. The shirt is no longer tucked in. His doublet is open. He looks comfortable, very relaxed. Has been some time since we have seen each other.
A fair bit, yes.
I was hoping we would have the chance to catch up.
I can't tell if you mean that.
I know you spent some time in my city before the last.
Under your direct care, yes.
Did you have the chance to absorb much of the culture?
Bits, pieces. Spent some time in the slums, but that's different than city, and that's significantly different than the barracks and the workyards. There's a lot of different cultures in the city.
Do you know what it is to be raised up? What it means to us? He will pause. Give someone the gift of undeath. I'd like you to roll me an insight check.
We're gonna use this one. Oh, what a good. That's an 18 on the die for 21.
When he talks about the gift of undeath, you sense bitterness, sarcasm, maybe. Like, he never really gives anything away when he speaks, but you're perceptive enough that you pick up on that. Obviously, we aren't born. When somebody rises up through the ranks, it's not lightly done. And there's a reason why we use the term sire. Like a parent and the child. It's like learning to live again. But before you were blind and slow, loud. It's not quite the same thing. But I do feel something of a familial connection between us.
I suppose that's within your nature. You'll understand if I'm less reciprocal to that.
I never tell you how to feel. I just want you to understand that I am fond of you. And your beloved. He's very impressive.
Yes. We are lucky to know him.
Do you love him?
I do. It's different. It's not. I care about a lot of people. It's different.
Of course it is. Kind of looks off into space for a second, turns and stares into the fire. Love. Love is the purview of the living. It's been a very long time since I thought I might love someone. Scarcely remember what it felt like now.
Were you this way? When Barrow was made? Or did that come after?
No, that came after. And it came after. I was born there. My family, my parents. When Barrow opened its doors and invited all to come inside, that they might find a better life. My mother was pregnant with me at the time. And I was born there. Amidst the factories and the gloom and the dead. But I was different. I dreamed of more. I looked around and I thought to myself, why were things the way that they were? Why would we spend our mortal lives toiling away for no purpose? It didn't need us, not as anything other than food. And people died every day. There was plenty of blood. There was plenty of meat. So what was the purpose? And it clicked one day. They gave us purpose, lest we make our own. It's your nature, isn't it? Seek purpose. And in the absence of it, find something worthy to do. the nature of death. To be remembered. To want to be remembered. I thought perhaps we could overthrow our captors, fight our way to freedom. And I guess I convinced enough people that we could. They decided I was dangerous. But I guess they liked that. I was raised up on black wings. I didn't take it first. You can lead a vampire to fresh blood, but you can't make him drink. I fought it at first, but the thing about never getting older, never dying, only getting hungrier and hungrier and weaker and weaker. Eventually, you start to forget everything else. Years, decades, centuries. You don't feel alive anymore. You don't feel human anymore. Maybe I saw something of myself. Dear Edmund. And in you?
Well,
Oh, sorry.
Go on.
Oh. I'll not be redeemed. I don't tell you this to convince you that there is something of the man left in here. There isn't.
No, there's not. But even if that man is dead, in all senses of the word that figuratively matter, he got what he wanted, what he tried to do all those years ago, and that's not nothing.
That is the question, isn't it? Do we long for freedom? Or do our egos long for the recognition of taking it. People love being oppressed, Miss Violet. If you do it right. But if you give them something to fight against, if you uncover their eyes, take off the blindfold, suddenly it's a worthy cause. Suddenly there is defiance to be felt and glory to be won. Heroes.
Not either of those things. The want of connection.
I thought the ghost in the storm might understand.
A little, maybe. It only became that because you ripped out part of my soul, and then a giant bird decided I belonged to it.
That's fascinating. What happened to you? You say you love Edmund Veers. I'd like to offer you a deal. When you were last in Barrow, I told you that all the little bits that I had harvested from inside you, your soul, they were lost and scattered across the city. And I found them all. I sought them out, and I put them back together. And I will give them to you, along with everything else that I found when I was poking around inside you. And all you have to do is break his heart.
Keep them. Enjoy them. Rip them apart, put them in other things. Sell them. I don't need to go backwards in my life for something that I can live perfectly fine without. Better than fine without. At this point, the depending on what you may or may not know, what you may or may not have seen, you might understand when I say that you may have severed a connection with someone I want no part.
You may never be whole again, and I won't offer you a second time.
I believe you.
When you say that, he inhales sharply, closes his eyes, says, yes. There it is. That's what it feels like.
What, Marius?
True love. I hope you'll be very happy. I have no power over you, Kelly Violet. Go live your life. We're done here.
Good night. And for what it's worth, whatever version of happiness you can have, I hope you get that too. I would tell you to take care of my things, but I really don't think you're the type of person to mistreat what you think is your own. So Kelly will get up to leave. Before I go, can I look at the music box on the table? Do I recognize the figure? You said the music sounded familiar. Is that just because it's a well-known tune here or some other reason?
The music did sound familiar. When you look at the figure in the music box, I think it kind of comes back to you because the figure that is spinning as the music box plays is wearing the uniform of your high school marching band and is holding a flute. And you recognize the tune. It's one that you played a million times, practiced over and over and over again. I think you'd recognize the Avalon High School fight song.
I think she'll pause at the table and look at it. Look back at him for a second. Debating on if she wants to just leave or if she wants to just like close the lid on the box and leave. But I think she'll let him have it. I think she'll kind of just like file that away for later. Take her leave. Go back go back to get
As
into bed
you
and fall asleep.
as you go to leave, as you turn away and start walking away, you just hear him from behind you. Do you want to know if I was bluffing?
To kind of turn around and look at him. She's not going to say anything. She's just going to look at him and see. Because I feel like either way, he wants to say something about this. Can I make another insight check on him?
Yeah, go for it.
What is the other dice? Doesn't matter because it's a skill. Nat 20 for a 23.
Nat 20 for 23. Amazing. I think with that, you can tell that he is not going to tell you anything unless you ask. He is specifically waiting for you to say yes or no.
And she kind of gives like a little shrug and she's like, I mean, I didn't doubt you, but if you were bluffing, you're great at cards. Were you?
I looked. I searched high and low. And you were nowhere to be found. Which I guess would make that your second greatest escape.
I'm good at my job. She's gonna turn and go.
He doesn't say anything else, but as you walk away, you hear the click of the music box lid closing and the song cut out.
And she does not stop. She does not look back. She goes back down the hall to the room. Get back in bed.
Okay. And I think as you get back in bed, with like a small like snort, Edmund is kind of gonna like wake up a little bit and like look over at you, half awake, still mostly asleep, eyes kind of. He looks a little confused. And he says, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, I just heard something in the hall and went to check it out, but it's nothing to worry about. Scoot over, you're taking all of the pillow. Move.
It's not fair. I've never had a pillow before.
We can get you more pillows. We can get you so many pillows.
It sounds nice.
Blankets, too.
He'll laugh and just kind of wrap you up in his arms. And it doesn't take long before he falls back asleep. Imagine this time, maybe, sleep comes a little easier to Kelly Violet.
Just this one down.
And I think, Kelly, you awaken the next morning to gentle sunlight streaming in through the window. Curtains have been opened. There is no sign of Edmund, but you would see a little piece of parchment kind of like sitting on the dresser where he has written out, gone to council. Find you later.
And I think she just she tucks that, she gets dressed, she tucks that note into one of her pockets to put with all of her letters later when she can, to put it with all of her other correspondence. And then I think she will, feeling, well rested and happy, she's gonna go find her two walking disasters. See what's up.
Speaking of your walking disasters, you do go in search of them. And I think I didn't hear you say that you changed out of Edmund's shirt, but
No.
Okay.
A power play is a power play, my guy.
A power play is a power play. Okay, cool. So you go in search of your two disaster queers, 2 out of 3, and yes. you do find them. I think pretty much exactly where. I think exactly where you left them, pretty much. But inside Hunter's room. Yeah, I think maybe there's a. Well, I mean, Hunter and Max, you want to?
She knocks on the door. She does not open that door. She's like, I'm not stupid.
There's glass, damn it.
She doesn't know that.
Oh, that's fair.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know that.
That's totally fair.
And I haven't spoken to Mirrodin because him and I might be on a better footing, but I still don't seek him out for chit-chats unless I have to, so I'm knocking on the door first before I just walk in there.
Valid choice. I imagine, down to keep this like cuteness train going, what I'm imagining is that at some point you both fell asleep. I imagine Max was like sitting in the chair. Hunter, you're on your bed, so you could fall asleep regular. But yeah, I think when there's a knock on the door, you both are kind of awoken with a start.
Oh yeah, Max like jumps up and grabs the chair and like points it at the door, and just goes, "Who is it?"
Max, it might not be an intruder. Intruders don't knock.
It's Kelly. Are you decent?
Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't? What decent in what way?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, we're decent.
Cool. I'm coming in. Opens the door.
Max
looks him
puts
over.
the chair down slowly.
What were you gonna do with that? You gonna brain me with a chair?
Probably.
That's sloppy.
I could, though. I could.
At least you'd have broken the chair. You would have left evidence behind. You've got a perfectly good fist.
But that's worse.
Sure. And she comes in and she closes the door and she's like, so, what's that?
It's a magical bubble glass thing to keep Hunter inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're taking
it's like a snow globe that we drew on the ground. Marius gave it to us.
Kelly just rolls her eyes and she's like, of course he did. Do you guys need anything to eat? Have you been fed?
I don't know if I can be fed through this.
We could open a slot.
But then I could get out.
Not if we
Also,
open like
Wayne has the key.
Oh. We'll just test it. I'll just go get something. I'll just go get like some food and see if we can just pass it through.
Okay.
I'll just go get something. And Kelly's gonna go down. When she goes into like the general dining area, she will take like a look around to see if she sees Mirrodin. But if she doesn't spot him, she's not gonna.
Don't think you spot him.
I usually
not currently.
don't.
Yeah.
Usually don't see him down here. But I will get like Kelly gets like some sausages for Max, a cup of coffee for herself, and some toast, and then she gathers up a fruit salad for
carrots.
Callisto's not there. What do I need the carrots for?
It's for Hunter.
Fine. She will get carrots to go with the fruit salad. And she will take it back up to see if feeding Hunter is even possible right now, or if we have to wait for Wayne to come back.
I will say, I think in that moment when Kelly is gone, Hunter and Max are, of course, left in what is presumably immediately awkward silence, because this is Hunter and Max, and Hunter lets that hang in the room for a few moments before they look over at Max and say, I don't think I realized how much I needed to hear that from you. To hear you apologize for what you'd done. And I mean, Max, it was a good apology. It had everything I could have wanted. You acknowledged what you did. You took ownership over it. And you assured me that it wouldn't happen again. And that more than anything shows me who you are now.
I'm glad it's done. And from now on, no more apologies. There's nothing else to say. And we have to feed your spider, so. Unless we're apologizing for good times.
Sure, I can't see why someone would do that, but sure. No, it was cute, Max. It was cute. It was very you.
At this moment, you might notice that Kelly's definitely wearing someone else's shirt.
Hunter has no idea what that might mean.
That's fair. Canonically, Hunter does not wear a shirt.
It's true.
That's fair.
Canonically, Hunter wears a mesh tank top.
Yep.
That is accurate.
Anime.
That is what they are sitting in their containment cube wearing.
We might need to hit my friend up and see about updating your character art.
I can Photoshop a mesh tank top onto this character.
Man.
Kelly comes back with the breakfast. Oh,
sick. Sausages. Cool shirt.
Yep.
Just like starts.
Thank you. It's comfortable. And she will kind of like set the coffee down to the side for herself, and then she will approach the barrier and see if she can kind of like the slow knife that penetrates and just try to like pass it through.
Unfortunately, I think that this does not work. Sadly.
What about shenanigans? Not so shenanigans, but Max. Oh wait, hold on.
I like to be.
I did mean to tell you did technically sleep, so 1 level of exhaustion down.
Oh my goodness!
You're only a little baby bit.
Oh, I should have been rolling with disadvantage. I only rolled once though, so oops. What would you say this barrier is?
You got it. Like in terms of what?
Is it like an undead creation?
Nope.
Is it like a fae creation?
No.
Is it like an aberration creation?
What do you mean by undead creation?
Okay, so my mischievous plan is to cast protection from evil and good on the food so that it can slip through.
Okay, all right, interesting.
It's not probably what the spell is used for.
No.
But
this is made in Barrow. It's made by the undead, so
is it undead?
It's not undead, but I'll say that if you cast protection for good and evil on the sausage, you can slip it through the barrier.
I can't beat the sausage.
I'll do it on the plate. I'll do it on the fruit plate.
Okay, but nobody
I'll throw some carrots on there.
Nobody clip me saying if you cast protection from good and evil on the sausage, you can slip it through the barrier out of context. Thank you.
Incredible. I think Max just like
I like how it probably went down. Like Kelly was like, oh, we might have to wait for Wayne, and then Max is just like, wait.
Just absolutely both hands on the in the food. Just cast protection from evil and good. It's like, try now.
I don't think. Oh God!
Do it.
This time when you try it, it works. It passes through the barrier.
That's so weird. Here you go.
Thank you.
Good job, Max. Good teamwork. What did you do?
That was a good thought, Max.
Yeah, but what did you do?
I used a spell. I don't know what it does, but I know it's a protection spell.
Okay.
Hunter, you can eat food.
Boiled carrots.
Boiled carrots, your favorite.
Boiled carrots and fruit salad.
Yep.
Well, Kelly has her toast and coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant to test this out before. Because magic doesn't pass through the barrier. I guess this is an exception, but Hunter, can you hear me?
Yeah. I mean, there's the running joke that Max is in earshot, but I think you do hear it coming out of your approach. But I will remind you that you were warned that with Moldus, Calderspur out of commission, your badges are going to slowly lose effectiveness the more that you use them.
Oh,
you should be using them for emergencies.
Don't use this.
Oh my
God. Amazing. All right. Cool. So, as you are sitting there or standing there and enjoying light breakfast, there's a knock at the door.
Kelly will get a chair. No, Kelly's like, stop it.
And standing standing on the other side of the door is that same page who summoned you from the breakfast hall a couple days ago. And he looks very nervous, especially like given the fact that the last time he brought one of you to the council chambers, you fully tried to murder somebody.
That's true.
Good morning.
Whomst among us? Whomst among us?
Yes. Good morning. I've been excuse me, been sent here to summon you to appear before the Council of Calderon.
All of us.
He looks around and says, "Hi, all of you."
Well,
And that is where we're going to end this episode of Class Reunion.
Made a decision.
Good job, everybody. Yeah.
Everybody, high five on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I thought we were okay.
Nice.
All right, my bad. I thought we were. There's another person over here. That's who I high fived.
Yeah,
good job.
For sure.
You don't know them. They go to another school. Cool. That's our session. That's our episode of Class Reunion. It was a good one. It was very nice. Very, very, very nice, heartfelt moments. I think we all agree that we can save Marius.
We can fix
absolutely
him.
not.
We
can fix him.
No, Kelly's happy to let him live as long as he keeps his promises.
No.
And then when he is tired and he would like to rest, Kelly's willing to help him rest.
Or hear me out. We fix him.
We fix him. He could join the squad.
Listen, our polycule is already too chaotic. We already have Simon in the mix. We don't need anyone else.
That's true. Couple Simons running around these days.
A couple of Simons.
Too many Simons.
Yeah.
4 boys named Jordan.
I don't know what that means.
That's a song. That's a children's song. You guys ever heard 4 boys named Jordan?
No, that sounds like a Delaware thing.
4 Jordans in a room. How many Jordans on the planet do you know? You're a Jordan, they're a Jordan. Careful, you might miss one.
This up.
Of all the classrooms in the world, why did they all pick this one?
This isn't real.
Didn't know.
You made this up.
Didn't nobody
did that on the fly.
I did not. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna 4 boys named Jordan.
If you want to find out if that's real or not, you could check the Discord. There's a Class Reunion discussion channel. That's probably where it'll be. There's a link in the chat, or their social media stuff as well. We'll do introductions now and talk about what people have going on and where you can find them this week, which means, JD, where can people find you? What do you got going on?
Yes, hi, I am JD. I have been Hunter for tonight. This week, a little bit lighter for me. You can catch me with The Lost Caravan on Friday for our Call of Cthulhu week, where I will be playing the 9th part of a throuple, and it will be a good time, and we will probably all die, but that is okay. We are raising money for NAMI, so it's rounding out the week, and it has been a wild one so far. You can then find me on Saturday over with Exquisite Corpse Presents for our 2nd episode of Season 3 of Sister Cities. And then I will be back here for Academy H on Sunday.
Such a light week.
Right.
Barely took any time. Raph, what do you have going on?
Gosh, a boiled carrots week. Hello, I'm Raph. I played Max Miller this week. That's it for this week for me. It's like a one grape from a fruit bowl kind of week. And then next week I'll be back here on Tuesday for Cold Iron, Changeling Cold Iron, which will be very fun. And then Thursday of next week I will be back for Redacted, JD's psychological horror homebrew which has been very spooky and very fun. So if you want to see me as the mom of the group, get on over there.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. What else?
Raph plays the mom friend.
I'm the mom.
Sure.
I'm the mom.
What's your playbook?
I just take care of it.
What's your playbook?
That doesn't matter.
We're not defined by our playbooks.
Yeah, I'm the only normal one. And honestly, in all of my games, in all the games that I'm in, I'm the most normal.
That is objectively untrue.
Raph has never played a weird little freak.
It is my turn right now. Actually, I'm done. That's all I'm doing.
Isn't next, not this Friday, but next Friday, isn't that season of Secrets and Shadows?
No. That is the one after. So 2 weeks from the 18th, we will be returning on September 1st for season 2, 2 Secrets, 2 Shadows.
Oh yeah,
Catch Me 2 Secrets, 2 Shadows Table 2. So you know that's going to be so good.
Yep. Julia.
Hi. I've played Kelly Violet, who's having an absolutely wonderful time. Truly thriving. We love to see it. I will be back on Sunday to play Lyra Kroll for Academy H. Things are happening. There will also be another episode of the podcast, hopefully by then, which I cannot remember if it's the next episode or if the episode after, where one of my favorite memories happens, but we will see.
I'm not sure what your favorite memory is, so I'm not entirely sure, because I can think of options for both.
Wait, everybody plug your ears. Whisper it to me. Tell me and I'll let you know.
No, you have to guess when the episode comes out. You have to text me and find out.
You're absolutely right.
I think the next episode is the last episode of the arc Corey was with us for. Unless it is longer. Unless it's longer than I think it is, and I have to split it into 2. But I'm pretty sure it's the last one that Corey was in. So
yeah, correct.
So if your favorite memory happened when Corey was there, yes, it's the next episode.
If your favorite memory is Corey, it's gotta be the next
memory.
Also that I love, like I said, I would die for Chase.
God, that puppy dog face.
That puppy dog face.
Yeah, but that's all I've got going for right now.
Nice. Cool. That's not.
Listen to 4 boys named Jordan.
Do that, I guess.
Listen, go in the Discord, listen to it, and tell me your feelings.
Trying to be Corey. Hold on. Hey, hi, hello there. I've been Wayne Hovacek. I'm Corey. I've played Wayne Hovacek tonight, the best Gritsky player in all of Anoon, and the best spy that no one's ever seen. Also of Anoon. And I'm on Twitter. I got some secret projects coming up. I can't talk about them yet, but at midnight tonight, I'm going to be dropping some hot spoilers for all my projects over on Twitter. So, yeah, I always say that I'm going to tweet more, and I don't. And maybe if you follow me on Twitter, I will tweet. Maybe I'll tweet. So, yeah, do that. But I got some super secret stuff coming up, and listen to Academy H. I'm in all of the current episodes, the last 3, and the next one that's coming out, and they're good. You should check it out. And I'm just going to say good night to Wayne, good night to Corey. And then, hi, my name is Will. I'm one of the organizers and the storytellers here at Live from the Apocalypse. I do a lot of things. I got some stuff, I guess. Tuesday night, next Tuesday is Cold Iron. I don't think I'm doing it. No, sorry, not true. I'm not doing anything for the rest of the week. Sunday, I'll be running Academy H. There will be a new episode that comes out that day, which is the last episode of the current arc, where you can catch Corey and everything else. It's add-ons and extras. It's very good. You can listen to the first 3 parts. We'll be recording 2 more episodes as we start to wrap up season 1. Yeah. And then move on into season 2 of Academy H.
Excuse-moi.
This Sunday, 6 p.m. Check it out. Thank you for the thanks, Torian. Next Tuesday, I will be back on Tuesday for Cold Iron. And I believe that Wednesday, we will be streaming the first episode of Nephilim the River, a spin-off of the first game that I ever ran on this channel. It's a setting that I really, really love and care about a lot. And it'll be good. The first premiere got delayed, unfortunately, but I'm really looking forward to it. There's some fantastic and amazing people in that game, including some of them who have been in the chat tonight. So you should check that game out. It's really, really, it's going to be a really good time. Cold Iron, Nephilim the River, not a Season of Secrets and Shadows until September 1st, where I will be back as Abigail Donatelli, the devil.
I love her.
Yep.
I love her so much.
That's going to be a really good time. I think that is pretty much everything that I have to talk about and plug. We're going to be recording Season 2 of Cryptic Community College soon. That is not going to be coming out on a weekly basis at first because Brendan's not insane like I was with Academy H. So we're going to record a bunch of episodes live here on Twitch, and then they'll be edited and they'll be slowly released once we have a bit of a backlog built up, which is, hey kids, if you're going to make a podcast, that's the way you should do it. It's not how I do it, but it is the way you should do it. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. Let me just try to see who we're going to raid. Bad House is still streaming Itaewon by Night. So we're going to disappear in just a second and hop on over there and say hi to our friends. But come along, please. Discord link, social link, all of that is in the chat. We have been live from the apocalypse. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.